rock and roll. I'm just going to hit record and mute everyone out. So I'm really excited to have Dr. Josh and Lisa Dunsky on our team call tonight. I met them through my friend Jen Murgatroyd in Montana, and she just couldn't say enough great things about this wonderful couple. And she invited them to Blitz with us. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed. In our Blitz week after week, they're not just the top producers, but they're freaking crushing it. You know, so Ed and I were like, dude, we've got to have them on our team. We want to know what they're doing. We want them to teach our team and give us, you know, a lesson and just tell us what's been happening for their business, in their business. And so let me go ahead and introduce them. Josh and Lisa are parents to 5 children. They are very dedicated to educating and helping people transform their lives, excuse me, both physically and financially. They are 4-star Crystal executives, 3-star Golden Circles. Josh is also a Heart of Isagenix nominee, and to me, that's the most special award. I was nominated in 2013, and that's something that your entire team has to vote their butt off to get you even elected, even up there with a nomination. So to me, that's such a valuable character sign about you, Josh, because I know that your team must love you so much. Says a lot about you. For me, it's like my favorite award that Isagenix does. Lisa is a comp plan expert, and I love that because so many new people are like, I don't get it, I don't understand these pools. So we're going to ask you to share a little bit with us tonight. And together, they're just doing amazing. Josh has been a chiropractic physician for so many years, and he's someone who used to just work so much, and now he gets to work only 3 days a week because they're free. They're free, both physically and financially. And, you know, Lisa works in a corporate, and, you know, she worked in finances, long hours, long commute, and was away from the children a lot. I'm so happy that they found Isagenix, and I'm so happy that they decided to change not only their life, but their teams and their children. And I love seeing them on the Blitz calls because I see all these motivational messages behind them. And to me, you know what? They're just normal people who really felt the vision and are just knocking it out of the ballpark. So welcome to the call, guys. I'm going to go ahead. Are you unmuted?
For now, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Welcome. My introduction didn't do enough justice, quite honest. I'm so impressed with you two.
It does, no introduction necessary, really. We're happy to be here. We're proud to be here. It's such a privilege. We love the Blitz. We're so thankful to be on it.
Thank you for that, Angela.
Sorry, we're crushing everyone, but
I love it. You lit a fire under my butt. So tell me your story, guys. Tell us about you. What brought you here to Isagenix?
Awesome. Yeah, so we have a spine clinic in Framingham, just outside of Boston, and we've always had good nutrition. Josh has been, using good nutrition and teaching nutrition for the life of his practice. And a chiropractor friend of ours, introduced us to Product B. And he had to keep calling. It took a long time for this guy to say yes. And he put Dave MacArthur on the phone because when Josh finally called him back, said, "What is this Product B?" He goes, "I don't know, talk to Dave." So Dave MacArthur got on the phone and just blew Josh away. And Josh hangs up the phone and I'm like, "Who did you just give your social security number to?"
Very familiar.
Auto ship. I was pissed.
She was not happy.
I was pissed. But then we put Product B in our body, and 3 days in, we lit the F up. Like, we were on fire, and there was no e-shots back then. There was no coffee, and we were on the roof. It was amazing. And so we really dove in and said, okay, what is this? We've got to find out what's just lighting our butts on fire. And we started talking more to Dave. Dave decided he'd come out and do a kind of, it wasn't really a launch party. It was a meeting, really. We invited everybody, Wellness Wednesday kind of thing. And we launched. We didn't realize it was a business. We just thought, okay, our patients need to be on this. Let's tell them about it. And when Dave was there, he told me that he was cleansing. And I'm like, what's a cleanse? Or I knew what a cleanse was. I'm like, what do you mean cleanse? He's like, well, you know, when I first did this, he told me his 30-second story. When I first did this, I dropped this many pounds, whatever. And I'm like, sign me up. So we went out to dinner. I stuffed my face, and then I went home and I ordered it. We got it. My first system, I dropped 20 pounds in 3 dress sizes, and I was just in, like 100% in. Our patients were asking us what I was doing. I was glowing, I was bouncing, I was everywhere. And we were faxing our order forms to Dave MacArthur because we didn't even know what we were doing yet. So he set us up, and we made Crystal executive in like 4 months. We had no idea what we were doing. We were just sharing and loving the products. And that was our launch, really.
Yeah. And from that, and then after Dave started us that first meeting, we just started doing meetings. We started rolling in telomere science and product B into our meetings, and then it turned into cleanse, and and then it took off from there. But she really, when she went on the cleanse, that's what lit up the clinic. People were like, what are you doing? And it wasn't, she didn't have a lot to lose, but it was just when you get healthy, you know, you start to glow, you start to emit this energy, and people are like, what are you doing? And so, yeah, there she is.
Hey.
And so, yeah.
There she is.
That's a little deceiving, because usually there's 7 beers in her hand, not just one. So that's not actually accurate.
It's a Montana Mule now, I take.
So, and I got it, you know, it's, and we did a call, I don't even know, we did 2 calls today for the UK, for our UK people, and I was on the call, and one of them brought this up, but we did not get into this for the business. Obviously, you just heard her story. I never thought in a million years that I'd be lecturing on something other than neuropathy and spinal degeneration. That's right. And now, like, we get more, you know, we do more of our wellness revolution. Sure, I talk about the keto syndrome, toxicity, deficiency, obesity, and stress. IR program. I probably do more now than my chiropractic, you know, and it's just it's absolutely incredible. How can you not talk about this? And I went through a phase where I wouldn't talk about the business. I didn't want, you know, it was all the drunk monkeys in my head, and I always thought, oh, he wants to bring up the business to sell me the product. So I didn't talk about the business for a long time. And then one day I just slapped myself in the face. I'm like, what am I doing? Everybody needs I don't care if you make good money or you don't make good money. You can be married to your job and have the golden handcuffs. You need a secondary source of income, a residual source of income. And so once I got out of my head, I don't shut up about the business now. I don't care who you are, what income you have, what income you don't have. A viable option for every single person with the same tools to make a change in their life, their family's lives, and everybody around them. So why not just talk about it to everybody and give them the option? So,
absolutely. Josh, do you have a microphone there? And I hear a static. Do you guys hear it?
it's someone on the call. Yeah, it's not us. I can hear it.
You hear it also? Okay, let me hit mute again. Okay, and now I'm going to unmute you guys. Is that better?
Much better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought it was on your end. Every time I saw you move an arm, I heard the static. So I want to ask you a question. So now you're enrolling people, you're sharing, you're so excited about your results, your wife's having results, you guys feel like you just pooped out a rainbow bag of Skittles. I mean, something is happening to you and you feel confident enough to share it with your clients. Do you ever have teammates say to you, but I'm not a doctor. I don't know about the products the way you do. What do I do if I'm new and I don't know how to explain it? Or sometimes you have people that are like, I'm not good enough to be able to share this. I don't know how to answer all these questions. How do you get your teammates started without all that apprehension?
Great question. Let me address the first thing that you said. I want to be clear. So we use the nutrition in our clinic. The nutrition is mandatory in 2 of our, you know, the programs that we specialize in. The patients have to get on the nutrition if they want the care in my clinic. But I don't talk to my patients about the business. There's a fine line, and there's board issues, and I don't mix the business with my patients. I just want to be very clear about that. I put them on the science for the best science to put in their body, the best nutrition to get them, primo health. Outside of the clinic, absolutely, anybody I meet, I'll talk about nutrition and the business opportunity. So that being said, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the biggest problems I had, and most practitioners will tell you the same thing, we want to deliver all the information. And that's one of the things I think that has slowed us down, actually. We don't want you end up vomiting on people. They don't want to know all the details. They want to feel the emotion. They want to hear the story and not the details. And so I tell people, and this very subject came up today with someone over in the UK. He's like, how do I deliver that information? I said, great. You get them on a 3-way call. You send them a link. You send them to isagenxhealth.net. Even if you know how to explain it, don't explain it. You're going to bring the social credibility on board, because now they're hearing it from another source and not just you. Even if you have credibility, it doesn't matter. So the more people hear it from different sources, the more that they're going to hear the story and really pay attention to the story, and less on the detail. It's just how our brains function.
I just have to tell my team that this was so not rehearsed, but I am like a 3-way Hitler. If someone does not have enrollments for the week, I'm like, okay, well, how many 3-ways have you done? Because for me, the first time I tried to wing it, and the person started asking me about the sugar content, and is it safe for diabetics, and it's too many carbs, and I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know. I drink the shakes. I lost 7 pounds. I didn't know what to say. When I kept doing 3-ways with different people, number 1, I learned how to handle objections. Number 2, I noticed that my friends and family, listen, they know me as Ange doing Jägermeister shots and keg stands. They're like, what kind of health coach are you? But here, I got my friends and family on a 3-way phone call, and they're giving their social, they're giving their information like no problem to a total stranger, because it gives some kind of validity, credibility, professional take on it. Ed Golden laughs because he was talking to his best friend like 5 times. I get him on the phone. He's like, in 5 minutes, you get his credit card. It's just, it's an important part of the business.
Yeah.
What else would you say are some important key factors about doing this and doing it well?
I would say that paramount is getting to events. Not getting your butt into a seat at one of those events is a dire mistake in this business. You need to be there. You need to feel that momentum. You need to feel that culture. You need to have those aha moments, and you have them every time you go to a different event. And every time you go, you chip away at something else that's been holding you back. You chip away at one of those masks that you're wearing. You build your belief in yourself, in the industry, in the products, in network marketing, in everything. And every time you go, you just get stronger and stronger and more motivated. And, we're living proof of that. Like, we get even more buzzed about Blitz every time we go to an event, and and we do even better every time. And it's nuts, because those events are just paramount. The other aspect is plugging into your team. If you're not plugging in, if you're not showing up on team calls, if you're not listening to podcasts, if you're not keeping your ISA batteries charged, you're going to disappear. You're not going to be paying attention. It's not going to be a priority, and it's not going to be something that you're like, oh yeah, well, someday I'll do that. If you're plugged in, you're constantly in that vibe, and you see where you're going, and you stay focused on that vision, and you don't let anything slip that way.
Absolutely. And I see so many of my leaders on tonight's call, and I can tell you that these people have been on call after call after call, and they continue to show up. And they're not showing up because they're leaders. They're leaders because they show up. And I see it and I feel it. And I know that. I used to think events were hokey until I went. and then I brought a few of my people, and then they were lit up, and then they brought a few of their people. Without going to an event and really understanding the culture and the community, you kind of get stuck. And you know what? Believe it or not too many people are visionaries. And sometimes life and the negative Nellies and the naysayers, they kind of get the best of you. But when you show up to events and you're in these team calls and you're vibing with people that are on the same level, you're like, who the heck is that person to tell me I can't do big things? And you're seeing the stories and you're feeling it. So absolutely, I love that you pointed that out, because they're so important. Tell me, my rule of thumb is the 3, 3, and 3, right? I learned that from Susan Sly. You have to connect with 3 teammates every day, check in on your consultant, see how your leaders are doing. You've got to make 3 new connections, whether you meet them at the salon or at Walmart or on Facebook. You've got to be friend requesting and constantly adding 3 new people to your list. And you have to share your story with 3 people a day. And I found that for me, I don't work long hours as long as I do this. I put in maybe 2 hours a day into my Isogenics business. And sometimes when I get paid on Monday, I want to fall off my chair. Because it's incredible. Tell me, what are your standards? What are you committed to in your business every day? Because I know it's so easy to get distracted. I know between the kids and the laundry and Josh's business, it's easy to say, I'll call her later, I'll get to it. What are your principles, and how do you keep yourself motivated and on point and doing these tasks day after day after day?
Absolutely. Great question. And that really is, it's an answer within itself. You have to have a daily method of operation. You have to plan out your days. You have to know what you're going to do the next day. You have to stick to it. You have to set up your calls and be on your calls, and don't rearrange them and don't cancel them. Show up. We set our goals at the beginning of every week. So we don't have like a 3, 3, and 3 every day. We have, this is what we're going to get done this week. And that week will not end unless we get that done.
What are some of those goals? Give me an example, Lisa.
Sure. So last week, let me give you our last week goals.
So Lisa and I meet every Monday morning. We have our business meeting regardless. So I'm in the clinic Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. That's it. So Friday through Monday, we're either with the kids, we're working, we're traveling. Every Monday morning, she and I together have a business meeting, and we set out our goals. So who's ready to go consultant? We start working with them. That's what
I'll give you our goals.
She'll give them to you.
So last week,
don't let her scare the shit out of you. These guys are overachievers, so don't believe goals.
Well, I'm an overachiever and I push him.
She pushes. I'm the rope. She pushes the rope.
I push the rope. Don't push the rope. Doesn't work. So last week we had a goal to enroll 3 people. We enrolled 9. We had a goal to have 2 rank advances. We got 2 people to 2-star. We had a goal to contact, 35 new contacts. We had a goal for, I think we wanted to get it. Well, I'm not going to say this, but we wanted a certain number of cycles and we blew it away. We had a
goal for 4. We're dedicated to building our UK team. So we had a goal of doing 4 webinars this week, and I've done 3 so far. So that's, we're making it happen. I did 2 webinars at lunch, which I usually don't eat lunch anymore at the clinic, which is so busy, but I did 2 webinars. We knew we need to put that down. We got to get it done. We got to support those people and just stick to what we say we're going to do.
And we use this.
I love it. I have my planner on my desk, and I don't live without it. First of all, I love that you have pink hair and you're tattooed. And that to me, it's like, you know what? Anyone can do this business, and you can be yourself, and you don't have to be a stiff, and you can be you and help thousands, hundreds and thousands of people. That's the first thing I love. The second thing I love is that, you know what, sometimes someone is stronger at one area and someone is stronger than the other. But as husband and wife, you meet together. And folks, even if your spouse is not doing this business, you need to sit down with them and tell them what your goals are so they take you seriously. You don't want to neglect and ignore your family and be like, guys, I'm going to be hiding in the office for 3. You want to let your spouse know what your goals are for the week, even if they're not doing this. Honey, I'm going to need your help putting the kids to bed because I've got some major accomplishments I need to get at this week. And I love that. And I can tell by Elizabeth Gollenberg's face when you said 9 enrollments, right? Liz was like, what? So everyone's going to ask you, how did you get 9 enrollments? Where do you find these people?
I'll tell you this, that when people talk about this as a farming process, as planting seeds, it is so true. And Angela, you know this better than anybody. People see you, they see your presence. You don't go away. You're on Facebook every day, social media, your presence is there. So when the time is right, they pick up the phone. I got a call today, Christine. She called me up. I talked to her 3 years ago. She said, are you still doing that thing? Yeah, I'm still doing that thing. She said, I think I'm ready. I said, great. I'm on the highway. Let me plug in Lisa on a 3-way call. We'll get your information signed up. So you're always planting seeds in understanding that timing is, you can have the most perfect 3-way call, the most perfect exposure, but if the timing's not right, it's not right. And Lisa and I, honestly, how do we do it? We have a fire under our ass right now. We are, I used to use my clinic as an excuse all the time. And I find myself slipping sometimes because, I have to run that place. We have 7, 8 personnel in there. We have a busy spine clinic. And even though I'm in there 3 days a week, I just got home at 8 o'clock. We just did we did a call from 8 to 9 and we're on we have we've really got to prioritize what we're doing. And I push those excuses aside. She's definitely done it. She's on fire right now. And we're both just enrolling people that, talking to people that we used to make excuses maybe not to talk to. This is, we see what this is doing, and to sit back and watch this go by, it's not going to happen anymore. So how are we doing it? We're just talking to people. If you're ready, great. If you're not ready, we still love you. Are you ready? Are you ready? And it doesn't matter if the timing's not right, but you've got to expose them the right way. And if you try to convince somebody, try to drag them, then your relationship can be in jeopardy versus, I think you may need this. I don't know. This may or may not be for you. Are you open to learning? We're just having more conversations.
We're having more conversations. We're following up with everybody, no matter when we touched them. And we're putting ourselves out there and trying new things and doing things. If you keep doing the same thing and getting the same result, you're not doing anything different, and you're not going to grow. So we try new things. Like I posted on the Blitz page where I saw this woman pop up on my Facebook that she was nearby, and I don't know who she is. I do now, but I didn't know who she was. And I said, hey, you're from my town. Can you help me reach out to some people in the area? I'm trying to expand my network. And I stole this from you, Angela. I've helped thousands of people transform their lives through, weight loss and energy and healthy aging and wealth creation. Do you know anyone that might be interested in the area? And she wrote back and gave me goosebumps. She's like, well, I am interested. I want to look and feel my best by the time I'm 50, and we need to talk. And I posted that on the thing, and we had our call, and she ended up enrolling. She lives right across the street. I didn't even know it. It is amazing. And she's like my soul sister. It was amazing. But I saw her pop up, and most people would be like, well, oh, she lives in my town, or that person's from my town, or I might not want to, and just have some sort of hesitation. And we're just taking all fear, all hesitation, just all that crap, all that BS in your head, and just take it out, because you never know who's listening, who's watching, who needs this. And it's your job to present it. And it's not fair if you keep it to yourself. You have to be telling people about it. And who gives a crap what they think about you? Because most of them will thank you in the long run.
Wow, I love it. When Ed Golden, 5-star Golden Circle, is my soul sister. And he lived across the street from me, and I had no idea. And he came to my house for a box of Ice of Delights. And it's almost like he never left 3 years later. So you never know. You never know who you're going to meet. But one thing I hear is that your passion and your conviction and the way this program made you feel has made you give a shit a little bit less about what others think or say about you. It's like as you do this, I still owe him delights. As you do this, you kind of grow a thicker skin. And as you build your belief, that hardness, grows thicker and thicker. I mean, when we introduced network marketing to Brooklyn, New York, it was no easy task. But you know what? We felt so good about the products. We didn't care. We were telling everyone. And that's how it is. And another thing that I heard about in your talk right there was that you guys are not attached to the outcome. You don't care if they say no. In fact, you can't wait for them to shut up and say no so you can move on to the next one,
Right.
Because here's the deal. The person who talks to the most people wins. Some will, some won't. And I love what I've learned, that you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. And it's not our job to prejudge or discriminate or say she doesn't need it, he won't take it, she can't afford it. You guys you don't discriminate against anyone. You text, you talk, you Facebook, you share, you meet people, you're just all in. And as a result of that all in, not only have you cut office hours, but you're building an incredible multiple six-figure income that allows you to be present for your family while helping people. You are already helping people, but this is something spectacular. I mean, you're going to crack my spine when I see you at Celebration, by the way. But
Yeah.
you were helping people physically, but now you can help people with their weight, physically, financially. So many avenues have opened up for you guys. And I think it's just spectacular. So, Dr. Dunsky, from a physician's standpoint, and I'm sure many people have presented you with other products and have tried to get you to carry this vitamin and this nutrition. What separates Isagenix from the rest? Why do you think this program is just like the bee's knees?
I mean, I need 3 hours of your time to tell you what separates this program.
It's a loaded question, actually.
Absolutely. I mean, we still have people that walk in our clinic and they're repping another company. And now I actually take their card because we have 3 people on our team that came in to sell me their system and they ended up enrolling with us. So, they don't know.
Now.
2 of them are executives. They don't know who they're dealing with when they walk in my front door. But I used to not have time for salespeople because we're busy. It's like everything else. But it just, I understand how that is and what separates it. I will tell you it starts with the integrity. And I tell people this all day long. If you buy a cholesterol drug from California, you buy the same drug from Newton, Massachusetts, it's the same exact structure. It's the same exact drug. You go and buy vitamin D3 at a pharmacy in Newton, and you go to Framingham and you go to a vitamin shop, it can be completely different. The world in the nutraceutical world, there's no real regulation over what is bioavailable and what's actually good for you, just because it's called a vitamin D3 or a shake. And so it comes down to integrity. It comes down to a company being transparent. It comes down to a company willing to give you the information you need to choose what's a good product, what's available to the body, and what's not. And on every level, I mean, I get goosebumps when I say this to people. I'm proud to be aligned with a company like Isagenix. And we had high-level science in my clinic, a few different companies which delivered good science. I never saw anything like this. I never saw a research, an R&D department like Isagenix. I never saw a company that they fingerprint DNA all of their organic ingredients. So these organic ingredients come in from a credible source with a certificate of authenticity, meaning this is organic. Isagenix still tests it, and they still find out that trace amounts of heavy metals and herbicides and pesticides are in that ingredient sometimes. Isagenix rejects those ingredients. I honestly don't know any other company, and we have people on our team, they ask these questions to other companies. How do you source your protein? Where do you get your protein? Do you use chemicals like hexane to pull the oils out of the plants? They don't even answer the question. Isagenix will tell you exactly how they do it, and it's something you're going to want to put in your kid's body. That's how incredible it is. Yeah. So, I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, the genius behind John Anderson is I don't have enough time to talk about that. It is nothing that you find in the nutraceutical or nutrition world. It just doesn't exist. their sourcing of their products, their engineering of the 70 trace minerals our body needs every single day for your immune system, your nervous system to work properly. Some of the best supplements you see have 15 to 20 of those trace minerals. You need over 70 every single day. Isogenics gives them to you in multiple products. That's where John Anderson is an absolute genius at what he does. The ability to put high-level BCAAs in a protein shake is unheard of in the industry with the quality that they have. So now their plant-based protein, it does a phenomenal job, whereas most vegan products aren't great on the market for getting results because they're vegan. John Anderson is able to engineer it so you're utilizing almost 100% of that nutrition. So, I mean, where do I end? I can keep going on and on.
Shut up.
Yeah, so I'll shut up, but I can keep going. I mean, it really, and I'll stop with this. I just got to say one more thing. The published studies that we have, everybody on here should be so proud. We have 6 published studies now that prove we can say certain things. Most companies don't even have one. We have an in vivo study. So an in vitro study means it's done in a dish. An in vivo study means it's done in humans. We have double-blind placebo-controlled studies that shows what product B does to our catalase levels. That's the protection of our cells. So know that you have published research. You can make certain claims and obviously be compliant, know what those claims are. Don't just say things. But you can be loud and proud when you talk to a practitioner that's using a company like Medifast or Medical Weight. You look at the garbage that they have in their products and whatnot. And I don't want to bash any products, but just look at the ingredients. You wouldn't give it to someone you didn't like. Yeah. Now you have a system that is the finest, purest ingredients with published research that proves it cuts visceral fat by twice the amount. It helps increase lean muscle. It can help regulate insulin sensitivity, you can say. We have the long-term studies with 14 times more explosive power in the men's performance study, showing an athlete that doesn't want explosive power 14 times than on their program before. I am heated and I'm excited right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love him. Well, I have to tell you that I recently found out that nutraceutical companies are not required to do these studies, and that these studies are very, very costly. And Isogenics pays for these studies out of their own pocket because they want to show people, they want to have the validity, and they want to give us the walking, talking proof that it is the best. And as a total layman who knows nothing, I don't even know what a BCAA is, quite honestly. But what was impressive to me was that people who use Isogenics lost 56% more visceral fat, the unhealthy fat, that surrounds your organs. What was impressive to me was that people who use Isogenics just from drinking a shake, if nothing else changes, just from drinking a shake, you gain more muscle, 9% more muscle mass. And I have to tell you, I've done Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, I tried raspberry ketones, everything. And nothing has made me feel this way. There have been other programs that I lost weight, but it was a nightmare. It was slow. It was pain. I never felt better. I never felt differently. So I know this is something special. And when you're able to confidently put this in your kids' bodies, to give this to your elderly mom to help her improve her health, I mean, that to me says it all. And the results are so emotional. You see people transforming right before your eyes. I don't know how people wouldn't share this. I said, don't tell Isogenics, but even if they didn't pay me, I would still tell the world about it. And I know that's how you guys feel.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the telomere support, because not too many people use the product B, and not too many people are real. We come on for the shakes and cleanse, but we usually stay for the other stuff like the bars, the snacks, all the goodies. Tell us a little bit about product B, because after hearing you tonight, I'm going to get a bottle. I'm really interested.
It's how we started. It's how we were exposed. It's how we were introduced to this platform. And in my opinion, every single person should be on product B, hands down. It's absolutely pertinent. So what product B is compliantly, it's telomere support. Telomeres protect our chromosomes. So basically, if you think of a shoestring, the plastic tip of the shoestring protects that shoestring from fraying. So if that plastic tip degenerates, what happens to the shoestring? It starts to fray. Well, researchers have identified over the past 30 years now, everything to do with the aging process has to do with those telomeres getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And as our cells divide, because every second of the day, certain cells are dividing, every week, every month, old cells are dying and new cells are forming. Every time the cell regenerates, the telomere gets a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. There's something called basal cell shortening. It's the natural process of that happening. But there's something called accelerated telomere shortening, and that's what we have control over. That has to do with stress, has to do with alcohol abuse, it has to do with smoking, it has to do with not exercising. Marriage, kids, right? So there's things that we have control over, things we don't have control over. In a nutshell, product B supports and helps protect our telomeres. Okay, so knowing that, let me tell you what we can say compliantly. They did a study, a double-blind placebo-controlled study with catalase. So think of every cell in our body has an enzyme called catalase. That catalase protects our cells from damage. When we have damaged cells, we age. That's what's responsible for gray hair, poor eyesight, hearing. And now, actually, it's linked to almost every disease that we know, okay, our telomere shortening. And that's right out of Bill Andrews. Those of you who know Bill Andrews, he discovered human telomerase, product B, testing with John Anderson. So they did a study with catalase. Think of catalase as a force field. Remember Star Trek? Remember the spaceships? They have a force field around that spaceship. So when an enemy would shoot at it, the bullets would bounce off. That's what catalase does to your cells if catalase is at its premium, at its high level that it should be. As we get older, catalase levels drop. In fact, if you Google any disease out there, cancer, diabetes, you'll see low levels of catalase. So researchers and engineers with this process said if you could increase catalase by 5%, you'd help that person be healthier. Wow. Product B was done in a double-blind placebo-controlled study in live subjects, and they were able to show that product B was able to increase catalase by 30%. That is the rocket fuel that a rocket ship needs to get up into space. You can't run a car on dirt and water. It needs gasoline. That catalase is our gasoline for our cells to be able to heal and then be healthier than they were before. It is the most incredible anti-aging thing that I've ever seen. And I have had the opportunity to present this at medical conferences. We were over in London at the Preventive Medicine Conference. Lisa and I were just in Amsterdam at another preventive medicine conference. We were just invited to go to Munich in a couple months and some other places. This is cutting edge science. The whole world is looking at telomere science, and there are other telomere supports out there. I've never seen one even in second place compared to what product B can do. So when you talk about anti-aging, no, it doesn't cure aging, but you know what? It's support so your body can do what it normally should do and ward off those enemies and those bullets. And that's the most compliant way I can describe it. You want to put that in your body every single day.
Yeah, you know what? From a layman's perspective, I see some of the older gals at Isogenics, and they're just hot. And if that's what telomeres are going to do, I mean, after hearing this, I think I will never, ever go a day without it because I want to be alive and I want to be healthy and I want to put the best things in my body. Dave MacArthur would be proud. That was incredible. Now, if someone wants to learn about this, can they go to isagenixpodcast.com and put in product B and they would hear all about this?
Absolutely. And on isagenixhealth.net, they can do that as well. Find out the research, the clinical studies are there for everybody to see. And absolutely, Angela, they could just type that in and read on and on about that.
Wonderful. I want everyone to know that, these guys, they didn't know anything about this. They learned about it as they progressed. And that you can go to isaproduct.com and learn about the products. You guys are getting amazing feedback. You can go to isagenixhealth.net, type in any product and get a complete overview, or you can go to isagenixpodcast.com. You want to know the difference between Isoline and Isoline Pro or product B for telomere support, you put it in. You want to become an expert? Take the time to learn how. These guys didn't Google. They used the Isagenix research and they got good. They listened, they told it over and over and over. And that's how you become that credible source. That's how you will become an expert to the people who you're trying to, help, really help. So I love this so much value. I think that when we do an event together, I hope we do an event together this year. I'm going to play Weird Science or maybe the Star Trek theme song. You're so passionate. You get me excited about the science. So let's talk money. I think we can all agree that we love the products. We're passionate. That's why we're all on the call. How do we make an income, Lisa? How do we get our people paid and get them paid? You're popping 1 stars, 2 stars. I got someone sitting a manager for 3 years. How do you get your team fired up and get them paid quickly?
All right. So you've got to use your mouth. You've got to eat the products. You've got to be a product of the product. And then you've got to talk. And it's the same thing as when you're prospecting. You have to talk to your teammates. You have to pour love into them every day. You have to understand the comp plan so that you know what everybody's sitting on. I call at least 5 or 6 people every day and say, you're sitting on 6 cycles, you're sitting on 5 cycles, you only have to share with 1 more person and you're going to generate $1,000. Like, you've got to understand what the back office is showing you and be able to reach down deep and light fires under people. You've got to understand how to build a solid foundation and then have your people work together so that they can all rank advance quickly, so that they can all start to cycle better. When we first came into the business, and this is no discount to Dave MacArthur whatsoever, but Dave is very product B, share product B. So we didn't have a business mentor. So I was sitting with my laptop. I was looking at the back office. He's looking up product ingredients. And I'm like, oh my God, did you see what we can do here? Did you see what we can do there? And he's like, oh my God, do you know what's in product B? And do you know what's, so we, we did that. But I learned by reading the flyers. Contests and promotions tab is the best tab in the back office. Click on it several times a day and read those flyers, print them out. We have them printed out all over our house. I mean, nobody really should ever come to our house because it's kind of a disaster. But they're in front of our face all the time. We show our people how to, figure out what their goal is and work backwards based on the numbers. If people don't have people in their organization, we talk about traits of people that they want to attract. We start that vibration going. If you've got, I asked, and actually they're in the call right now, I asked a couple of people the other day, what trait do you totally want in your business right now? And she said, well, my best friend, I want another one of her. And I said, well, great. So 2 things. 1, start Googling that exact same name and friend requesting all the people with that same exact name if you want another one of those people. But what you're going to do is you're going to set that vibration out that type of personality and that type of person is what you're seeking. And everything that you do is going to have that vibration in it. So law of attraction, I mean, it works. The laws of the universe work. Plug into Dave MacArthur's podcast. They're just insane. But really, understanding what your people want, what motivates them. I loved that training we did the other night about what motivates people. If it's recognition, if it's money, if it's giving, that's a huge deal. Get to know your people and be friends with them and know the comp plan. It's huge. There's so much good stuff there. And I don't care if people aren't motivated by money. If they're motivated by giving, if you could show them how to make a ton of money, imagine how much more they can give. It's the same thing. You identify the pain in the beginning when you're showing them the money and you're showing them how to rank advance. You show them the possibility of when they hit that rank advance. Like, this is what can happen if you do this. And you don't have to do this alone. We have a huge team of people. You don't have to know everything. We've got all these beautiful websites. We've got all this training. We've got this beautiful tool right here that can talk science to anybody. And we've got, comp plan people. We've got videos. We've got everything. So all you need to do is use your mouth and talk to people, whether it's products or whether it's showing them how to rank advance or showing them this business. Just talk and don't sit on your couch and watch TV.
Yeah, I love it. So let's say I'm like brand spanking new and I enroll with you and you tell me, look, you're going to lose weight. People are going to start noticing. You have a couple options. Either I can, take your referrals, or, I can help you get your products paid for, or I can really show you how to make some money. And I say, you know what? I'd like to make some money. What are some action steps that you're going to give me? Do you give your people, like, number one, make a list. Number two, let's schedule some three-way phone calls, find two people. What are the, let's say, 5 action steps that you would tell a new person?
So immediately, we have our training website is called squeezethejuice.com. It's our training website. It's very similar to Isagenix Business, but we've kind of moved the distractions a little bit. I love Isagenix Business. We tell people you can use that too. So we have teams and teams, and we let people decide. But basically, we send them to these same steps. Number one, watch all the videos. It'll teach you a little bit. It'll help you with your verbiage. And also think of 5 to 10 names on each video. Start making your list. Once they have done that, there's a document that they have to go read. And this is it says step 1, step 2, this is step 3. It's a document on inviting people. The things we either say can push people away or bring them in to have them ask us, what are you doing? Ask for a presentation. And so we want to teach people right away how not to make the mistakes that we made, how not to, I'm the king of verbal vomit. I could all over you and people would run away when I'm just passionate and excited about it. So a simple document on inviting prospects the right way. This may or may not be for you. I've noticed every time we've talked, you're complaining that you never get to see your kids, or you've always been overweight and you've tried 14 different programs. I'm doing something right now you may be interested in. I always say, I don't know if it's for you. It may or may not be. That brings their guard down. Are you open to learning more? So once they see that document, then step number 3.5, it says, call your sponsor back for a coaching call. If they don't do those 3 steps, she's not wasting her time. I'm not wasting my time. They've got to do those steps to show us, look, they want to at least learn how to do this, and then we'll spend all day and all night with them if they're doing this with us. Versus people say, yeah, I'll do that. I want to make money, yeah, and they don't do anything. Angela, you know that. People will, and everybody in this call knows people will say things, but it's not as important to them. You're very busy. We're very busy, and I want to work with people that want to work with us. And so they go through those steps, and then, the new associate interview we use, we do things like that. That's what I use to get people started.
Yeah.
Almost always.
It's a beautiful thing that I recently learned, and it's called qualifying people. And, for a long time, I wanted it so bad for so many people because I came from nothing, and then this incredible thing happened, and I just wanted it for everyone. And what was difficult for me to understand is that not everybody wanted it, or maybe they did want it, but they weren't willing to work their ass off. And this does work. You will make $1 million if you're willing to work your ass off, right? So I love that you guys qualify people. I love that you match energy for energy. And I love that you give people kind of homework assignments, so to speak. So I want you to go to isamovie.com. I want you to watch each of the videos and come up with a list of 5 names per video. Once you do, let me know. Then I want you to go back and watch how to invite people. Once you do, come back and let me know. Then I want you to schedule some 3-way phone calls with me. This is how you edify me. This is how you introduce me. Then come back and let me know. They're not showing up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calls. Done. They're not watching the movies. That's it. And I noticed that it's not, I don't know how to say this properly. It's not a level of arrogance, but once you put some value on yourself and some respect to your business, I noticed that people will begin to respect you more. I used to take phone calls at 12, 1 in the morning. And my husband's like, what kind of life of freedom is this? Are you crazy? And once I set business hours, and once I started setting appointments, and once I treated this more professionally, people started treating me like a professional. And I love that. I love that. So how do you teach your people to run for the $10,000 that's on the table? That's a big deal. Do you go through ACMDE? How do you go? Because often I feel that I don't talk to them about what executive status is and all that it entails until they get to director. I kind of try to take it one step at a time because I don't want to overwhelm or scare people. Do you do it a little bit differently? Do you lay the foundation right away?
Yeah, we really try to teach people to run to executive and really light that fire of how much more money is available there.
Mm.
The only time that we kind of pull it back is when we're starting to talk 1-star, 2-star. I don't go there, but I go straight to executive and I talk to them about how you get that executive match. You're getting more shares in the holiday pool. I go crazy with the director pool. I think the director pool is the most exciting thing that Isagenix has ever done. There's so much money there and you can max it out like without a doubt. And we do a strategy where with all of our new people called Driving the Line, where you can completely kill the director pool and we show the people in our team that have done it and say, this is what they did and this is how they did it, and follow our lead and we'll show you how to do it. And it creates.
How do you crush that director pool? What do you instruct your people to do?
Absolutely. So we don't
take advantage of this.
No, and it wasn't around when we started. We didn't even have manager or director or anything. We just had, it was called star consultant when you had 5, and then you got crystal exec. So none of those pools were there. So one of the things that I do is I really stress that back office, that looking at the contest and promotions tab. That's what lit me up. And sometimes people need to see it. Sometimes people need to read it. But we do a back office overview Zoom call to teach them everything and click on them and show them, look at this. And I get really excited when I talk about it. But how to crush the director pool, the way that we teach it is we teach anchor your inside leg with your spouse and then enroll as many people as you can on your team leg and get to director. So then what you've done is you've kept your benchmark cycle at pretty much 0 because you're not cycling. You're not chasing cycles in the beginning. You can get your upfront linear income with PIBs and with getting rank advancements as far as manager and director. And then once you've hit director with 5 on your left and then your spouse is your 6th, then you drive that other line and you hit boom, 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 boom. And ideally, you'll take about 3 months to do it. You don't have to. You can do it much quicker. But during those 3 months, you nail that director pool because you've only
you cycle because now you're putting everyone on the cycle leg.
And everybody, and just to tangent on that, everybody you're teaching them, everybody that you're putting in, they're driving their line. So your efforts went to here, but now everybody's doing it. So all of a sudden you have a massive leg. And this is what we didn't do in the beginning. We were chasing cycles. We didn't know.
We were enrolling left, right.
And so the analogy would be building a house on a cardboard foundation versus a concrete foundation. That concrete foundation will take a few more weeks, maybe a month or 2. But then when you switch sides and you're hitting the 300, you're cycling like crazy. And what she just said is you want to keep your benchmark 0 so you can nail those pools. That's the strategy, to build a heavy leg, and then you switch over and you go back and forth after you've created another heavy leg. Then you switch side, another heavy leg, and you cycle like crazy versus $54 here, $54 there. It's incredible. And that's what, when we learned this, we were stuck, to be quite honest with you, we got stuck at 2-star for a while. We were stuck long time. And we were like, what are we doing? And we learned this strategy. Boom. It rocketed us right out of, rocketed? Is that a word? Rocketed us right out of that quicksand, and boom. And we're now knocking on the next door for rank advancement because of it. Right. But your team's if your team does it with you, the whole team will explode at the same time. If some do it, it's still going to benefit the sum. But if your whole team drives that line, everybody's building that way, it's like this massive bomb that just goes off.
Is this something that you recommend before director? This is for consultants and manager. Once you hit director, it no longer applies because now you have to focus on hitting executive and 5 and 5.
So we drive the line until we hit director, then we nail our inside leg to get to executive, but then you're in the executive pool. We teach once you've maxed out those 2 centers, once you get to like 2-star, then you drive the line by going 10 on your left, 10 on your right, 10 on your left, and you teach every new person to do the same, because that's what creates that momentum. If you're, enrolling maybe one a month, and you're putting one on your left, and then next month you put one on the right, it's like those two people are essentially on an island, because you're not enrolling anymore underneath them. But if you create that momentum where you say, okay, I've enrolled you, now your next 10 go here. I've enrolled you, your next 10 go here. You're creating a 2/3 leg. And that is the secret sauce to maxing out your center, is creating a 2/3 leg. Because, and the mentality behind it came from a reentry, because on a reentry, you've already got that massive business center that's already there, and you're only building a 300 leg. And it's an amazing strategy, because you just crank a whole team together, and they all get excited because they're all seeing this volume, and there's enrollment, and it creates such momentum and such excitement. People can't help but go, oh my God, I know my sponsor is going to probably enroll like 3 or 4 people this week. Do you want to get in now before them? It creates another like incentive for people to, be out talking to people and encouraging them to, don't wait until after Valentine's Day. Just order your pack and start the day after Valentine's Day. It's just a holiday. That shouldn't stop you from putting your health on the front burner,
Now, what would you guys say? That was so valuable. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. What would you guys say to someone who's got like 600,000 points on one side? They fell off executive, and now they're just kind of chasing cycles. What would the number one task be for them? To get back to executive?
Absolutely get back to executive. But what people who have banked volume fail to see is their weekly volume. Take a look at weekly volume, divide it out, and see what kind of business center you're looking at. If you're looking at a 5-cycle business center and you're an executive, you might want to load up and drive the line again and get yourself loaded up to a 2/3 leg. Banked volume is banked volume. The minute you've cycled 100 times in your business, in the life of your business, they mega cycle you down to 150,000. So don't count on the banked volume. Count on the weekly volume on your left and right, and build your business like that. And knowing, okay, well, I want to be a 3-star. I want to be a 4-star. I'm going to need 36,000 on my left. I'm going to need 18,000 on my right. I've got to get there. Not I've got 800,000 BV. I can just cycle. Because when you blow through it, you stop cycling, and your budget is screwed. You can't do it.
This is, I don't know if you can see this, but I made this the first time I cycled.
Nice.
Wow.
It's basically a psychotic chart that says 1-star golden circle, 10 cycles. That's 6,000 on one side, 3,000 on the other. And my husband and I figured the math, and we literally went all the way down to 10-star platinum. And this was a huge motivator for me, because I didn't understand what a cycle was. I just kept enrolling. But I thought that if I can just get 12,000 here and 6,000 here, I'm going to get to that next star. And you want to get to the stars. It's like a corporate promotion. Except you're promoting yourself. But seeing those numbers and knowing what your goal is, you're not shooting aimlessly. So I love that. I want to open it up and see if I can't believe I kept you guys on for an hour. I just looked and it's 10 o'clock.
I'm excited. It's fine.
We love you. We'll stay on here for 2 hours.
You guys are amazing. So valuable. I mean, I know you're going to max out your business so soon. You guys are just doing incredible. Everyone who meets you is so incredibly inspired. I had so many more questions, and my mouth hung at the whole director thing, so I don't even know what the hell I was going to ask you. So let's open it up and see if anyone has questions. It is super loud. If you guys can please mute yourselves if you are not asking a question, and if you are, just go ahead, ask away. These guys are amazing, so feel comfortable to ask them anything. Everyone's stunned.
Josh, Lisa, I just wanted to say thank you for an amazing call. I'm kind of mind effed right now too, after what you guys said. But yeah, the one thing you guys do that I love is you just go, you just do it, and That's the best way. Nothing matters. You guys just go. So, thank you for all your input and taking an hour to talk to us today.
What's the matter?
Thank you very much. We appreciate being here.
Yeah, five babies, a very busy practice, and they still get it done.
You need to go again?
Conversation. Anyone have a question? Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm going to mute everyone else out, and then I will just unmute because I think I'm not sure if we're going to have a clear line. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I'm sorry, he's gonna wake up. So my question is, how do you initiate sharing the vision of the business? I feel like I'm pretty good at sharing my love of the products, but like you said, I am so apprehensive and nervous to share the business side because I don't want them to think that it's about me making money. So that initiation, I know you had said that you look at the back office and you contact people that way, but any other pointers would be great.
The number one pointer is move your belief needle on the business and build up your posture on how much you love this business and how much you want this for other people. And my needle was moved by looking at the contests and promotions tab. It helped me really go, you know what, this is killer. I cannot not share this with people. It's not about me. And I'm going to present this. And if it's not for them, that's fine. But it's not going to be not for them because I was too scared to say something. So just move your belief needle. When you have those belief needles on all the different levels and you show up and you've got that posture, they'll listen. And if it's not for them, that's okay. Because more often than not, people come around and go, oh, this is for me. And I say it right out. I'm saying, I'm going to tell you this, whether you want to hear it or not, because I don't want you to come back and get mad at me that I never told you.
Right.
So it's really just about your own belief, because when you feel passionate about something, you will tell the world, just like you will with the products.
Great, thank you.
And I just want to tangent on that I used to be the one, okay, when am I going to say isogenics? When am I going to get this in the conversation? And it really, it wasn't that fun. When it became fun, you just have a normal conversation. It's just a normal, interaction with someone. And the more you ask questions, when they want to know more about me, I quickly turn it back on them. Well, tell me more about what you're doing there. The more you ask questions, you're going to know everything about them. You're going to know their pain. And then at the appropriate time, it might not be that phone call. It might be the next time you set up another, we'll meet you for lunch next week. Or, you call them back in a couple of days to say, you know what, Mark, you said some things that really triggered my thought process, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't have to be, okay now. If you're looking for that, it's just asking questions. And I think the more you do have fun with it and you do raise your belief needle, like Lisa said, it just comes out. We just have a regular dialogue. Like I talked to the guy, we had dinner the other night, the waiter, he was awesome. And I just said, you open to making some extra money if it didn't get in the way with what you're doing now. We got all his information, super great guy. It was an easy conversation. Whereas before I'd been like, really just robot-like, and it just doesn't, it can be fun and just be real and talk to everybody. Don't not talk to anybody, talk to everybody and just be real with it. And it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like jumping in the cold pool. If you think about it too much, you'll just puss out and never do it. But if you just close your nose and say screw it and then do it, and just jump, it just gets easier. And I feel like the more you do it, the less you think about it and the less nervous you are. And it becomes natural talking to people. Awesome. Does anyone else have a question before I let these guys go?
Ange, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, Danielle, I'm going to mute everyone out, and then I will unmute you, and then we'll just ask quickly. I feel so bad that it's after 10. Okay, Dee. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, there we go. Okay. I just want to say that was an amazing call. I loved everything about everything. And I just wanted to find out, when you were talking about driving the leg and the comp plan, we have some scripts that we can turn to on product packages and, you know, just different language. Just, is that written somewhere, or is that something that you kind of almost developed from checking out your back office and kind of seeing what works?
We created a video for our team, but there's no script, and we learned it by linking arms with other teams and other leaders, and we were taught by other leaders. And
I know it's something Herbie Cepeda has been teaching his team for a long time.
yes, and it's actually one of his leaders that taught us. And you know, the best thing in this business that we've ever done is link arms with other leaders and other teams. And we didn't even know we were doing it in the beginning. We always opened our meetings up to everybody in the area because we thought we can't just have 3 people in the room. We've got to have more people. So let's invite everybody that works for Isogenics in the whole area. So it started off just as an organic thing, but you learn so much from other teams because, you know, when you get in your own little pod, you teach the same thing over and over again, and you can have podcasts and all that, but other teams have different perspectives, and we love working with other people because we get that good information. And that Drive the Line was money. I mean, it was the best thing we ever learned.
Angela, because I like your accent so much, I want to make you a proposal. What if we did a group team call and we taught this maybe in 2 weeks? We're going to Mexico Saturday. What if we taught this on merge your team call with our team call, and we'll do a Drive the Line training in 2 weeks?
Thank you so
That'd be great.
And as a gracias to you, I would love to do a team call for you guys and talk to them about how to enroll 600 people quickly.
That, we will take you up on that.
I think you guys are amazing, so giving, so loving, and I want everyone to give you guys a big woohoo. You're just so much value. Thank you so much. Yay!
Unbelievable. I love it.
No, that.
Great
Thank
call,
you.
everyone.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night, everyone.
God bless.
God bless you. Thank you.
Christy, hi.
Bye.